So lesson 3 is actually one of the more important lessons that we have in this class. You're going to learn more about images and image editing, and you'll also learn how to create links. So reading through this lecture demo is kind of important. And there's a lot of examples in here, a lot of content that you need to know in order to create and edit your images properly, and in order to insert the images and create links. So that's actually really important that you go through that. There's a lot of graphics in there so that you can see what you need to do in addition to explanation. The textbook assignment actually has a lot of videos. So there are videos in here that tell you and show you how to do absolutely everything. So this is a much more directive assignment than the lab assignment. Anytime I give you a file to download, it's my recommendation that you use Chrome, Firefox, or Opera. Do not use Microsoft Edge or the Internet Explorer, especially for web pages, because it tends to change the name of the file, creates extra folders, and it doesn't download quite right. And that has created a lot of problems for students that are using those browsers. So if you use Chrome, Firefox, or Opera, you will be okay. So this is much more directive. You see here's an HTML file for you to download and some additional images. Again, don't use Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer because it's going to change the name of the file. That will be a problem for you when you create links, okay? And you are going to be creating links in this assignment. Actually, not this one, but the lab assignment. So this assignment, a lot of it deals with images. You're going to do some internal links on this exercise. And again, here's a web page for you to download and a graphic. Graphics should go into a media folder. And if you have any questions or you run into problems, just let me know. And then once you finish with this one, you are going to come over to your lab assignment. And there's basically two primary tasks that you need to complete. Part one is creating a brand new page. You're going to be using HTML5, graphics, and links. So I did do a video on this so that you understand what you're supposed to do. When I say create 3 clickable sections, what I am referring to is this. This is clickable, okay? It is using the details and summary. So I gave you an example of a tiger. Here's one of the Brooklyn Bridge. The images are thumbnails, and if you click on them, they go to a larger image. So you're going to be creating a page kind of around a theme, and you'll have 3 thumbnails with some text, and clicking on the thumbnails should take you to a bigger picture. So here is all of the code I used for my large cat page, because I tend to like large cats. So for the text, I actually got that from National Geographic, and it is perfectly okay for you to copy text as long as you put it in double quotes and you cite it. Okay, so you let me know where you got it from. Okay, it's not plagiarism if you do it that way. Okay, so you can see how I did it. And here is the actual page itself. And we haven't really learned CSS, so it doesn't look very fancy, but next week we will be adding CSS, which will give us some color and it'll look a little nicer than it does right now. Okay? But you will be creating something similar. And again, I did mine on cats. large cats, you can do it on whatever you want. Okay, so whatever you're interested in, that's what I would do the page on. Once you complete the page, this is where you're going to be updating your own assignment page with links. So here's the text that you're going to have, and this is not links yet. You're going to be converting it into links. So here is how I converted lesson 2. Now, a lot of students see this and they just type theirs in just like I did. That will work as long as you named your lesson 2 folder the same way I did. So I've got a capital L, lesson 2 with no spaces. So if you did your folder just like me, that will work, okay? Then you do a slash, and if you named bottom navigation.html the exact same way I did, okay, you spelled it the same, it's all lowercase, then that link will work for you. If you named your file differently, then you have to match how you named your file. Okay, so upper and lowercase is different. Road not taken, capital R, capital N, capital T. Okay, that's how I named my file, so that is how I have to create the link. Then down here, for the lab assignment section, I named mine Big Cats, but you probably have a different name. So you will put in lesson 3 / and then, you know, however you named yours. And you'll notice lesson 3, capital L, no spaces, okay? And here I'm showing you how to link for lesson 2, but just realize you do have to link to all your pages for lesson 3 as well, okay? And it's the same kind of concept, okay? So down here in your lesson 3 section, it's going to be a href equals capital L, lesson 3 / yosemite.html. That would be my link. Okay, and that can be your link as long as you did yosemite.html all in lowercase and you named your folder the same way I did. This little section shows you how to add a graphic to the background of your page. If you're not familiar with how to do that, and I'm guessing most of you are not, make sure you watch the video because it shows you how to do it. And let's see, down at the bottom, it shows you how you're going to be scored. I do like you to run your code through the validator, but sometimes the validator will mark your code. It'll give you warnings when your code is perfectly fine. So what I want you to do is just look for typos, or sometimes people put in opening tags and they're missing closing. That's the kind of thing that I want you to look for. Okay? If it's giving you warnings, don't worry about it. Okay? If you're concerned about anything else that it's showing, just ask. Okay? Just send me an email and I can take a look and I can tell you if it's a problem or not. But chances are, validators just being overly picky. It hasn't updated for all the HTML5 yet, so sometimes it shows things wrong when they're actually fine. Okay, so don't get too hung up on the validator. So after you get done with the assignments, we have a test of everyday reasoning. So our class has been chosen to take this test. And there are only, I think, 6 or 7 classes on campus that were selected, and you guys were one of them. So I'm going to give you 20 points extra credit for doing this. It has to be completed by February 8th. And it is important that you try your hardest because the NMC students are going to be compared to other college students across the country. So we want you guys to do, you know, as well as you can. There are 39 questions on that test, and they give you 45 minutes. And you can use pen, paper, calculator, whatever you need to try to figure out the correct answer. I did see some of the questions, and I found myself, kind of mapping some things out on paper. So however you think, whatever is, the best way for you to figure things out, that is what you should do. When you are done taking this test, and doesn't need to be done until the 8th, so you can actually do all your assignments for this week and then do that test if you want. And when you're done with it, if you click on this, what I'd like you to do is click on Add Submission and just type in done and submit it. That way I know you've completed it, and I can go out to the testing dashboard, verify that you took the test, and then I can give you 20 points extra credit. So please let me know if you guys have any questions at all about what we're working on this week. And I am going to be having online office hours Sunday night from 9 to 10. And if you'd like to talk to me in person, feel free to stop by. Have a great week.